Welcome back to Inside Kart. As we take a look at the beautiful Monterey Coast, Chris McClure was able to take a look at Walker Racing's wind tunnel model. And that's this week's Honda Pit Pass.
And here at Walker Racing, Kevin Bayless is a vehicle dynamics engineer, which means you're involved in some of the wind tunnel testing and, frankly, experimenting.
Yes.
Okay, now what do we have right here as we go through part of the process?
This is our 96 wind tunnel model. It's a model that Reynard built for us, and they maintained. It's an all-carbon fiber skin, just like the real car. It's 40% scale, and basically, to the best of everyone's ability, is an exact duplicate, only on small scale, of the actual race car.
Now over here on the rack is the updated model, same scale and everything.
Yes, also 40% scale. This is the 98 model that we've been testing.
Okay, this would go into a wind tunnel and give you accurate data just like the big car.
Yes, everything down to scale. Again, all the detail is done to make everything as close as possible to the real race car. Obviously, it's not feasible to put the full-size car in a moving ground plane tunnel like we need to for an Indy car. But this is what we use, and it gives us very good results.
Okay, at the back you could test a variety of wings. This is a Speedway wing, for example. You can change the angle, the side plates, all those kinds of things. Duplicate the drag, the brakes, the tires would produce as well. How much work would you be doing along the side? Winglets like this and maybe little thingy-doos here and there.
That's mostly what we concentrate on. Because of the complicated nature of the major body parts, we really don't have the capacity to change those. But like you said, what we call the winglets or flugelhorns, radiator exits, a lot of the detail parts on the car, we'll concentrate a lot on those because we can make some small gains there without a large price constraint.
At the front, of course, you can use different nose cones and different configurations there. And of course, these are adjustable. This is a Speedway front wing as well, but again, you can try all kinds of different configurations.
Yes. We're also able to run the car in the wind tunnel through full ride height simulations, and we use that to determine what the optimum ride height and rake is for the car. So when we get to the track, we know that we're making the most of the downforce we have available.
Real quickly, if we could go back here, I see you've got a helmet shape in here.
Right.
And for a number of years, it wasn't always the case. This flow here is part of the aero package.
Absolutely. If you look at the driver's helmets, you'll see a lot of details in each one of their helmets designed to reduce the buffeting that comes from the flow over the top of their helmet, and also trying to get that as smooth as possible because all that air eventually winds up at the rear wing.
Okay, let's take a look at the bottom because that also is true to form.
Absolutely. It's a very detailed rendition of the underwing. That's where the majority of the aerodynamics comes into these cars. That generates the majority of the downforce and very critical piece of the equation.
How much time does this save as opposed to having to do testing, real testing at the track?
It saves an immense amount of time, and even more than that, it's a major safety issue because particularly testing like Michigan and Fontana, where we're putting a lot of emphasis on with the new rear wing spec this year, you wouldn't want to send a guy out at 240, 250 mile an hour straightaway speeds with something you weren't entirely sure of. With the wind tunnel model, we can test things that may or may not work quite right, may or may not be stable, and not have to worry about what it's going to do to the driver in the long run.